I'd like
Okay.
to begin by asking you what year and where you were born.
Okay, so I was born in 1991 and then born in actually here at Northridge
Wonderful.
in the US.
Wonderful. And could you go over your story of how and when you moved to and from Taipei,
Mm-hmm.
Taiwan?
Yeah, so I was born here and then my parents brought me back to Taiwan when I'm still a baby, so I'm not exactly sure when it was. And then around like 6, 7 years old, like first grade, we came here again because my dad is working here. And then just around a year, we moved back to Taiwan again. And then since then, I was in Taiwan until I came for the master. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd like to speak a little bit more on just your experience in your childhood growing up in Taiwan. And I'd like to begin with maybe what your earliest memory you have of your childhood.
I think it will be when I was in like kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the teacher because I'm going to like a bilingual kindergarten. I remember the teachers asking like if I have like an English name because usually Taiwanese made their own English name instead of using our Chinese name.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I don't remember. I have a name, Katherine. So my teacher made me one because like Eva, I remember clearly because that's kind of similar to my Chinese name. So she named me Eva. So that's what I remember really clearly.
Yes. And so when did you decide to go with Katherine instead of Eva?
So it's actually my legal name. I just don't remember I have one.
Got it.
Until my parents told me, like, I went home and say, oh, I have a name, Eva. And then my mom told me, oh, actually, you're Katherine.
That's funny. How interesting. And growing up, like in school, you said you went to a bilingual school. Did you go to a bilingual school all the way throughout elementary and high school? Or how did the school system work for you?
Oh, actually, like in Taiwan, it's bilingual, but not literally like we're speaking English a lot. We just have like a lecture or something. We will learn English because it's not in our regular curriculum until maybe in elementary school, we're not needing to learn English. But because my parents like always have a plan for us to come here, so they sent me to a school that actually taught English. And then in the elementary school, I think it's until my 5th grade, like the government made the like a new curriculum for students who start learning English. So that's how it is. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
But I've been learning English. Like my parents sent me to like the after school. So, yeah.
Right, because they knew that you would be eventually moving back to the States. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And when you were in Taiwan for a more extended period of time and you were doing the education system, what did a typical day look like for you as you got older?
What's like the year like when you like elementary school or
about older? Like high school, I think when you were older.
High school?
Yes.
It's just studying, exam.
Yes.
Pretty much just like that.
Yes.
Asian schools, like we started maybe 7 a.m. we need to be at school. And then just usually we have morning exams. And then just taking classes all day long until like 5 p.m.
Oh, wow. That's a long day.
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. So I bet when you came home, you were looking forward to maybe some home-cooked meals? Or yes? What did that look like for you?
So I actually, high school, I didn't really live at my home. I lived with my aunt because it's, my parents sent me to, like the best school. So, because we need to take exam and I did get a score into that school. So they sent me to that school and then it's, a little closer from my aunt's house, so I live there. So it's usually my aunt has a helper that cook.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she prepare a meal every day, and then yeah.
Oh, very nice. And what would you say was your favorite meal that she prepared?
Yeah, let me see. I remember she has really good like the Korean ribs.
Yes. And how long did she take to prepare that? I'm assuming it took a lot of prep.
I am actually not sure.
Okay.
Maybe an hour, because that usually when we're home, it's already prepared.
Right. Oh, that sounds really good. Coming home to some good ribs.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, so you said you lived with your aunt in high school, but as far as your family growing up, can you explain to me, like, do you have siblings? How are your parents? Kind of just what family life was like at home.
Mm-hmm. I have one younger sister that is 5 years younger than me. My parents are always busy at work, so we're usually with our grandparents. Like in early elementary school, I actually lived with my grandparents in another city, and my parents visit during the weekend. And then around, I would say, third grade, I moved back with my parents, but also with my grandparents on my dad's side. So usually they are the one taking care of us until because my parents come home really late. Like they leave early, they come home late. So I would say I feel like I didn't spend a lot of time with them until the weekends. Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. And what is it, you said your parents were very busy. What is it that your mom and dad did for a living?
They are kind of like IT type of work. I don't know exactly because I'm in a different profession right now.
Right.
But, yeah, it's just always on computer. I think that's when I decided what I'm gonna do, I was like, no, not gonna do that.
Yes.
Computer, too easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So when you were home with them on the weekends, what kind of conversations did you guys share around the dinner table?
It's a lot of like how school works are,
right.
What's your grade? Asian parents always curious like, what's your grade?
Right.
Like, and then it's a lot of that.
A lot of grades.
Yes.
And when you were at home, did you guys what language did you guys speak?
It's Mandarin.
Okay. Did
Chinese.
your parents speak English as well?
They do speak English.
Okay, very nice.
But we use Mandarin all the time. Yeah.
Right. Okay, very cool. And just one more follow-up question on your parents. I know you said you didn't get to spend too much time with them growing up, but can you remember any values that your parents instilled in you that maybe you carry on today or want to pass on to your family?
Also, probably just do whatever you're doing, do your best. And then you really need to make your effort before you give up. Yeah, because I wouldn't say I want to pass on to my kids all the great things.
Yes. Yes. Very, very good. I think that's a good just way to live, is to do everything 100% and do it at your best. So that's obviously a testimony to also where you're at in your life, the success that you've had. So how nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so now just a little bit about like your environment growing up. Can you begin and just tell me a little bit about the neighborhood that you grew up in?
It's just like a very typical Taiwanese neighborhood because we don't really have like in Taiwan. Everyone's very like I think in average you can't really. There's not really like a slums or like very high-end Beverly Hills buildings like that. So everyone just living like in apartments, very typical family, typical neighborhood. I'm not sure if you want to know more, like, because I don't know what to really describe. It's just very typical.
Very typical.
Environment that we have.
Got it. So the house you grew up in, was it an apartment building?
Yeah, it's apartment. It's usually apartment in Taiwan, unless in like rural area it will be houses, but it's typically apartment.
Okay, very interesting. And growing up in kind of a neighborhood where everybody's a little bit, it sounds like in close proximity, did you have a lot of friends who lived close by, or were a lot of your friends from school? Can you explain to me like your friendships growing up?
So, yeah, because for our school, I go to public schools until it's high school is still public school, but before high school, we're just going to the school in the neighborhood, like where you live, you will go to the closest school. So yeah, all my friends are like living around, from elementary to middle school. They're all around, and we do sometimes we'll hang out together, especially after the midterm, the finals.
Oh,
we'll
nice.
go like just like street shopping on the street, and just eat. Yeah.
Oh, very nice. So you mentioned street shopping. What did that look like, and how was that set up? I know that in the States, I'm not too familiar with, something like that. We have typical a lot of malls. So could you explain that?
So yeah, like the state is either plaza or
Right.
or malls. So,
Right.
in Taiwan, there will be like clothes shops on the street, restaurant on the street. So yeah, there's just especially like maybe close to the train station, there will be a lot of shops beside. So we'll just like walk around over there and then get some clothes, eat over there.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. And you said like you were looking for clothes. Like, what was the kind of fashion growing up in Taiwan?
I can't remember exactly, but just as kids, because in Taiwan we have to wear uniform all the time.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that's why, like, when we get a chance to like look around, we'll like really want to buy some clothes that is not uniform, so we can have on the weekend.
Yes.
Just t-shirt, short, just not really like fashion things, but
right.
Just, something outside of the uniform.
Right, something different.
Yeah.
Very nice. And these friends that you would hang out with, do you still keep in touch with them today? And if so, like where have they gone on to live, and what do they do?
Some we do, but we only contact like very not that often, but we do contact maybe like once a year or randomly seeing them posting something, and we'll start chat a little bit. Some are still living in the area, but a lot of them will like either go to like Taipei, because Taipei is the capital city in Taiwan. Yeah, so some of them will like move there and work there. Some still stay in the city there where I was at. Yeah.
Very nice. And so aside from street shopping, what were some of your other favorite places to be growing up?
Let me think. I think like the amusement park.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, we always wanted to go. It's like when the school take us to like a day tour, that's all usually where we requested to go, with the roller coaster and all those type of things.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And have you been to amusement parks in the States? How do they compare to the one that you remember from your childhood?
It's actually pretty similar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's similar. It's of course not like Disneyland. It's more like I would say Six Flags.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So big scary roller coasters.
Not that many, but it's like but it's more like Six Flags compared to like Disneyland.
Oh, very nice. How cool. Okay, and then just one kind of last thing on your childhood. Can you explain to me a memory maybe when you were a little bit older, perhaps in high school, that you remember and you look back on fondly?
Excuse me, once again? Pardon.
Yes, could you just tell me maybe one of your more favorite memories when you got a little bit older, perhaps maybe in high school, that you'd like to share?
Oh, okay. So, because high school is a lot of studying, but we do have like a little like a Christmas. They call it prom, but it's not a prom.
Okay.
It's not like the prom in the States. It's just like
a little winter dance.
Not really. It's just they have the stage, and then like it's different club, like dancing club, street dance club, or whatever club. They could have performance on there, and they will also invite like some singer, whatever, to perform. So that was a lot of fun. And also because I'm in a girls' school, so that's a time like it's open up also for other, guys
Yes.
from other high schools to come in.
Yes.
So that was fun. Yeah.
Yes. And so you just mentioned you went to an all-girls school. How do you think that affected your education? Like, was it a positive experience looking back on it? Do you think that gave you some advantages as you get older?
I think you should have, because I think our, like, it's all girls school, so it's like the teacher really emphasized like the girls can actually do a lot.
Right.
And then actually like our president is from my high school, so it's like it's and a lot of like you will kind of like be more how to say that, like we learn to I don't know how to say it, not dominant, but you will be more proactive.
Yes.
At what you're doing
right.
as a girl. Like you won't be just listening to someone. They teach us. We will be like the leader.
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
Right. I agree with you. I had a similar experience. I went to an all-girls high school growing up, and I think that prepared me in so many ways and gave me confidence to, speak up, especially now that I'm in college where I'm in co-ed classrooms. And I just think that was a pivotal point in just my education experience. So it's very neat to hear you have the same feeling about it. Okay, so just some reflection questions regarding your childhood. Can you recall any moment that was maybe worrisome or like challenging, maybe perhaps an obstacle that you remember that prepared you or maybe taught you a lesson?
I would say it's really about the career, because in Taiwan it's all about like testing and then exams, and then no one really, I think in the States you have like a consultant or whatever to kind of guide you through when you're going to college.
Right, a counselor.
Where's your route, right?
Yes.
So we don't have something like that, so you have to figure out yourself. But going to college, you also need to take like the national exam. So even though maybe you want to go this career, but you have to get like certain grades. So at that time, I didn't know what I want to do. Actually, until now, I was like, what I'm doing is actually not what I really, maybe my passion at, but I still don't know what I really like.
Right.
This is an okay thing for me to do. And then sometimes I do have like passion at it, but I feel like if I go back to that time, I really do wish there's someone that could help me with that, guide me through that. Because at that time, in my mind, it's probably I'm going to either be a doctor, a dentist, or like something in medical field.
Right.
That's what people would think that's a very very nice career to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. Okay. So speaking more on that, I know you kind of mentioned you didn't know for certain what you wanted to do during that transition period out of high school. But can you recall maybe just when you were younger, did you have like a dream job, or did you always kind of just know it was going to be something in the medical field?
I don't really ever have a dream job. Maybe a doctor, but I don't think at the time I know what it will be like. It's just, it's the whole society. Doctor is the most privileged people.
Right.
They're so smart.
Right.
So yeah, I for the whole time, like, if I could, I want to be a doctor.
Right.
But actually, after high school, because I'm still okay with studying, but I know in Taiwan I'll never be a doctor because it's too much. I'll never get to that grade. So I was like, no, I'm not going to be that. But I just want to be medical field. It's still like kind of related.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And so just touching on that, could you maybe explain like briefly like where you went to college a little bit, and what you went on to do and what you're currently doing as your profession now?
What again? Sorry.
Could you just maybe explain like your education process through college, and then what you went on to do and what your profession, your occupation is today?
Okay. So in high school, we will have after the senior, I think the senior year, we will have two national exam. The first one, you will get to certain grade and then you can apply to schools. Like school will interview you, or maybe they have their own exam or whatever. So that's the first time we could get a chance to like enroll into a school, but you'll still be in high school. That's our school usually ends around June, but that one will be in like, I would say January or something. So that's how like maybe 25% of students will decide where they're going already. And then in July, we'll have another exam, also a national one. And that one will just based on the grades. And then you will kind of fill out number one, if what we want to go, number one, number two, you will like list the priority of your schools, and then you send it through. And then there's a system just to like place you, okay, like from the maybe the whoever got the highest grade, and they will go to their first one and like that. So yeah, and I remember all I listed are medical field, and then to the and also I prioritized the school I went to on the top, because it's also the most famous school. So, I just place it on the top. Everything related to medical field, I place it. And then, so I get into occupational therapy. And then, since then, I'm doing occupational therapy still.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I'm also interested in the medical field, and that's a profession I've like considered. So, thank you for sharing that. That's very neat. Okay, and just final two questions. First, I'd like to ask you, what kinds of feelings and words come to mind when you remember your childhood in Taiwan?
Feeling, I would say stress, a lot of stress.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because especially my dad is really, really some people like, whatever you do, if it's not here is A+, but over there it's like, you didn't get 100, it's not enough.
Right.
It's like, why you have something like wrong on your exam. So it's a lot of stress.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. But I'm sure that it's prepared you well for just life in general. And
somehow, yeah.
Yes, you're a stronger woman for it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And then lastly, if you could tell your 10-year-old self one thing, what would it be?
I'll say, I don't know, tell myself, tell my parents to send me to like a summer camp in summertime, because it's all the studying in the before the summer vacation, and during the vacation, I don't remember I do something. I just go to my parents' house and spend the whole summer. That's all. And then I'm really like kind of envy, like my friends go to this camp, that camp, and they're having so much fun. I'm just having more fun, I guess.
Yes. So you would have asked for just a little bit more time in the sun during the summer.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, that is all the questions I have for today.
Okay.
Thank you again so much for joining me and for your help throughout this project. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.